Vanessa, welcome back to my channel. I'm doing things a little bit differently this week. I have, normally this isn't the kind of intro I would do for what's for dinner, but I wanted to make it a double whammy and give you guys a little update on what's going on with our family here on the East Coast in Canada. Really briefly, if you don't know, we are a blended family of 6. I have my daughter, Belle, and I have 3 lovely stepchildren with my spouse, Jamie. We have them about 50% of the time, week on, week off kind of thing, and my daughter's with us all of the time. That being said, my oldest stepdaughter, who's 16, is in cheer and competes in at a competitive level. And the day that they left, they went to Florida for a cheerleading competition, which was a pretty big deal. And the day that they left, as they're on the plane, everything started to kind of come down. Oh, you're going to be quarantined. You can't go to school for 14 days. Then within a few days of that, they shut down the schools, and it just really developed. And I mean, you've all been there. You've seen it. It's really developed daily, hourly, right? So it was scary. They tried to make the best of it. I mean, they were at Disney, you know, they had fun, but now they just came home yesterday, and it's all sinking in for them, right? She went there with my spouse's mom and her husband, so with her grandparents. Now they're all coming back quarantined for 14 days. They can't come around us. They can't go around her mom and her family. They're stuck. So I just ran out today to our local grocery store to get supplies for them because they can't do that either. Stock them up on the few things that they wanted or needed, and I'll do that again in a few days. Ideally, you know, I did post that video a couple days ago, shop at Costco and Walmart with me because we did need a few things like cat and dog food, and I just wanted to kind of do an update on what was going on. Granted, I'm not running around shopping and doing things unnecessarily at this point. So, I will go back out in a few days, but basically this what's for dinner this week is what's in my freezer, what's in my pantry, which I'm sure a lot of you are doing. We didn't run out and hoard and stock up because I'm already a planner and I already have stuff kind of in my freezer, in my fridge, in my pantry that I can use. So these meals you're about to see are basically just stuff that I pulled out of my freezer. Some of it's freezer burned, like the one you're about to see tonight with the meatball subs, but we're making it work. We did have to run out and grab sub buns, but I did that today when I did a grocery run for my mother-in-law. So yeah, that's where we're at. A little bit sad, when we did go drop the groceries off, we kind of waved at my stepdaughter and she's very upset. She wants to be home with us and she wants to, but I have Crohn's and there's a lot of complications if I were to get sick or anything like that. So we're just trying to do it properly. We're being diligent and we're enforcing that it's hard. Everybody's facing their own challenges right now. You know, she wants to be with her mom and her dad, and it's really hard. Everybody is struggling a lot right now. So we are making the best that we can. We are going to the park when we can, as provided there's not a lot of people here, taking walks with our dogs. We have an ATV. We're going out and doing outdoor activities, not surrounded by lots of people. So I hope you guys are staying safe and diligent and just being cautious. And if we can just kind of stick together and band together and not attack each other, if we can unite a little bit, if that makes any sense. This is exhausting. It is emotionally exhausting on everybody. And I'm sure, you know, we're going to get through this. So they're coming back now. They're all smiles. Everybody's got some fresh air. So now I'm going to show you guys the meals that I cooked for my family this week for whoever was at the house based on what was in my pantry and in my freezer. So I hope you guys enjoy this video.
All right, you guys, we are starting this week off on a Tuesday because I'm sure you've all had the same week. We are having meatball subs with a pasta salad. I found this pasta salad kit in my cupboard. It's not my typical meal, and honestly, it isn't my favorite, but it's what we had, so I was making it work. I grabbed some meatballs out of the freezer. You guys, this was definitely a pantry meal. Now, all I'm doing at this point is boiling the pasta. This really doesn't get much simpler. If I had more vegetables in the fridge, I would have added things like celery, maybe tomatoes, cucumbers, peppers. I didn't have any of that on hand at the time, so I just went straight up, used some Miracle Whip. You just take the package of seasoning that I just showed you guys, combine it into half a cup of Miracle Whip or mayo. Again, if you've watched my What's for Dinners, you know we are a Miracle Whip house, not a mayo house, although I do like mayo in my potato salad, so what does that mean? Yeah, so I just mix the seasoning in here. I go ahead and drain and rinse my pasta so that it cools off, and I can immediately add the Miracle Whip, and then we're good to go. Now, once this is all prepped, all I'm going to do is wrap it in saran wrap and leave it in the fridge for a few hours to set up. Just like any cold salad or pasta salad, the longer it sits in the fridge to kind of absorb all those flavors, the better it's going to taste. Now we're getting into the good part of the meal. You guys know I don't cook anything like this without using sweet basil marinara. It's just a staple. It's just a nice, simple, sweet marinara. I really, really like it. I have some random bags of meatballs in my freezer. I had initially planned to use them with some baked spaghetti that I have in the freezer, but we can eat it without them. I'm gonna go ahead and make them into subs tonight. Also some sub rolls. They're a little bit big. We might just use half for supper. Also an onion that I'm gonna caramelize on the stovetop in a frying pan, and some pizza mozzarella. So let's go ahead and start with the sauce and the meatballs. Just go ahead and empty a couple jars of the sauce. I think I made a little bit too much because we had enough to give away, but that's just how I cook. I don't know. Are you guys like that? I don't know how to cook for two people. I know how to cook for large crowds always. I think my mom always cooked that way. I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and dump the meatballs in. Some of them still have a little bit of freezer stuff on them. Ice, Vanessa, hello, wake up. I'm going to go ahead and heat them through on low heat in this sauce, get it to a light simmer, and then they'll be heated through and they should be delicious. Next, while that's heating up, I'm going to go ahead and shred up some of this pizza mozzarella, and I'm also going to chop up an onion, which I thought I recorded, but you guys didn't see. I've been really liking buying my own block cheese and shredding it lately. I was kind of getting lazy and buying the bagged version. Kudos to you. Go ahead and buy it if you'd like, but I find I'm saving money doing it this way. Here, I'm just sauteing the onions on a medium-low heat in some canola oil and a little bit of butter. I missed that part. I didn't film it apparently, but I'm just going to cook them for about 15 minutes until they start to caramelize. I personally don't like my sub buns toasted when I have a meatball sub, but Jamie and Sebastian did want them toasted. So what I do is I put them in for about 5 minutes just to get them lightly brown before I actually build them, and then throw them back in for another few minutes just to melt the cheese. So here we go. I'm just finishing off the onions. The sauce is good to go, and it's going to be about time to put them together. It started out like a movie scene. First off, I'm going to serve up Jacoby's. He's my 6-year-old stepson, soon to be 7. He was not feeling the sub portion of it, but he does like just eating a few meatballs with a piece of bread. And honestly, who doesn't? Then all of a sudden it became reality. Don't care about no gold. Now I'm just going to go ahead and put one together for Sebastian. He just wanted a half sub. Jamie actually ended up eating a whole one. I'm just going to layer some of the sauteed onions on the bottom of the bun, and then I'm going to top them with about 3 or 4 meatballs and a little bit of extra sauce. And the reason I toasted it is so that it can kind of handle that extra sauce so it doesn't get super soppy and soggy, if that makes sense. And then I'll top it with some shredded mozzarella cheese and toss it in the oven until it starts to get melty and gooey and delicious. Now, I put these in the oven at pretty high heat, around 425, so keep a close eye. But you guys, these were delicious and they were amazing for lunch the next day. Wednesday was a meal I was waiting to make all week. Salmon with quinoa cooked in the pressure cooker. The quinoa, not the salmon. For this meal, you're going to need as many pieces of salmon as you need to feed your family. Some quinoa. I just happen to have a box that I had purchased a while back, hence a pantry clean out. I have some chicken stock that I made. You could easily use store-bought. I also have some broccoli, just some frozen broccoli from Costco that I'm going to steam. I'm going to make a bit of a marinade or something to brush on the fish out of olive oil, soy sauce, honey, and if you had Dijon mustard, that's preferable, but I just use this deli stuff. And I'm going to go ahead and mince some garlic into the mixture. Now, for the quinoa, you can cook quinoa in a pressure cooker in 1 minute, or your Instapot or your Foodie, whatever. Did you know that? I didn't know that. Well, you learn something new every day. So literally 1 cup of quinoa to 1.5 cups of stock or water, whatever you'd like. If you were using water, make sure you add a little bit of salt just so that it has a little bit of flavor. Go ahead and make sure that it's kind of combined. Throw on your lid, set it to 1 minute. It took about 7 or 8 minutes to build to pressure, if that, and 1 minute to cook. And you're about to see it comes out epic. Now, the sauce that I'm about to make for the salmon is kind of like a generic combination of ingredients. If you've noticed anything that I've ever cooked, you could put this on chicken, anything else, pork chops. The combination of the oil, the honey, and the soy sauce and the garlic obviously is making a bit of like a teriyaki sauce here. So I'm putting more soy sauce and honey than I am olive oil, and I'm gonna go ahead and add 2 cloves of garlic and probably about a teaspoon of deli mustard. I will whisk this all together. I end up putting it in a bigger bowl because I don't know why I do this to myself every time. I am terrible at spatial reasoning. It was part of my aptitude test that I struggled with when I joined the military. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead, crush these cloves of garlic, add it to the bowl, and whisk it all together.
Want it, I'ma give it to you G straight. NML beat slam, not a human being. Ballin' like Kareem, sippin' on codeine. I lean with it, rock with it, got coke dreams. Boom, back, boom in the trap. When trap meets house, you get a trap house. Got 2 stacks, throw it at a strip dancer. Big booty hoe, said she from Atlanta.
All you want to do at this point is lightly salt and pepper it. You always want to add a little bit of salt when you're cooking or some sort of substitute. It just helps heighten other flavors. I'm going to go ahead and start brushing this on. I ended up pouring it because brushing it would have taken forever because it's not really a thick sauce. Pour it over, make sure it's all coated as best as you can. A little bit of extra on the parchment paper is nice because it'll help caramelize the edges a little bit. Throw it in the oven. I cook this at between 425. It just depends on your oven. I have a convection oven, and it took about a total of 20 minutes. Oh wow, that turned out really good. Holy crap, and that only took 1 minute.
Do what? The quinoa?
To cook the quinoa in the pressure cooker.
1 minute.
1 minute. I set it for 1 minute. It took about like 6 or 7 minutes to build the pressure. So still less than 10 minutes, and I don't have to watch it or stare at it.
How did you know it took that long?
I Pinterested it. Wow, and it looks perfect. Woo! I did pull the fish out after 15 minutes and went ahead and kind of poured more of the sauce over it. You can see it's so hot, it just flew right off, but it's still really good, guys. And I cooked it for another 5 after that. My biggest advice right now is to go ahead and add a drizzle of maple syrup to your salmon. You won't regret it. I steamed up that broccoli. I chopped up a cucumber. Here's our plate. I'm telling you, it was so good. Give this sauce a try, whether you're making chicken or fish. I'm telling you, it's delicious. The salmon was cooked to perfection. A little bit of maple syrup hit my quinoa. Didn't know I liked it. I don't know if I can eat quinoa without maple syrup again. It was amazing, you guys. This was supper for Wednesday night. Okay, it's been a hell of a week, you guys. Thursday was the last homemade meal of the week. We're having pizza. All right, so tonight we are having pizza. I bought this dough at the grocery store, just in the frozen food section. I took it out frozen this morning. I put some oil, just some canola oil in the bowl so that as it thawed, it wouldn't stick to the bowl, and it seemed to work pretty good, and it seems like it's gonna be a nice dough, so I'm excited to try that. I'm gonna put it right onto this stone pan, or the stoneware from Pampered Chef. Love it. Cooks really good pizza. I have the pizza one, it's just put away, and you can tell this one has been well seasoned and loved. Also, all we like on our pizza is pepperoni, maybe a little bit of salami, and just these kind of bacon bits things, and cheese, 2 kinds of cheese. So I like pizza mozzarella and cheddar, whether it's old, medium, or mild, it doesn't matter. And say hi, Charlie's having a treat. And this pizza sauce, which is what I use on my pizza bagels when I make freezer meals, when I do those. So, and I should say the other half of the pizza is gonna have some green pepper on it because I like it and Jamie likes to have a few vegetables, but it's just Jamie and Belle and I tonight, so mostly meat. And I don't know if you guys saw my spice organization video, but I'm super happy with that. I pull this out when I need it. Love it. But of course, you know, when I do make pizza or pizza bagels, the best combination is the oregano and Parmesan on the sauce. So you put the sauce on, you spread these on. So this is a combo. It's gonna give it that craft pizza kit taste, which frankly I grew up on and I love. So here's everything for our pizza. And Belle's gonna help me do some shredding, and I'm gonna get the dough ready. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so I just want to show you quickly. I have my pan here. I've got my dough ready, but I'm not too worried about it sticking to these pans. It's pretty good, even when I make cookies, like I don't put anything, but I am gonna run just a little bit of butter over it. And in the corners, it just says added precaution. Although I'm pretty sure oil and extra things aren't recommended on these, I'm still gonna go for it. And I haven't destroyed my pan as of yet. All right, all I have in this little bowl right here is some of the Crisco oil. It's just what my mom always used to do with that, or margarine. She'd dip her hand right in the margarine, and just to stop the dough from sticking, I'm just gonna use a little bit of canola oil just because it's what I have. So here's the dough. It's kind of been sitting all day. Now the package directions say that it can do 1 12-inch pizza, like a thick crust pizza, or 2 thin crust 12-inch. I'm gonna try and stretch it. You see, I'm kind of, it's hard to see right here, but basically working it in a circle like this with my hands, stretching it naturally to see how big it can get on the pan before I start forcing it. And it's very nice. And I have another one of these. I'm excited I bought these. So here we go. I wanted to jump in quickly and say next time I would make 2 pizzas out of this. It was a little bit thick on the edges, but honestly, now that I know it is like that, I would probably do a stuffed crust next time.
Just always poked my dough, I guess, to stop it from rising. Even though a little bit of sauce will sneak through, I'm not too upset about it because I still there. I'm gonna go ahead and add our pizza sauce. If I normally wouldn't use a squeeze bottle, I'd use a jar, but go. Do you guys like a lot of sauce on your pizza, or are you just a little bit of sauce person? I'm a little bit of sauce person. Enough that it's not, I can't swallow it because it's so dry, but not so much that it's like soupy. Do you know what I mean? So like this is probably perfect for me.
give you guys another look. So that's the perfect amount for me. Now we're gonna grab oregano. Like I said, we just shake it on. Shake it off, shake it on. Ah, mom jokes, love it. And I wouldn't be shy. Like, I like a lot. Like, I can smell it. I want to be able to taste the oregano. And shaker cheese. Oh, here we go, same. Essentially, you could probably make these into like fingers of just like this. It's so good. There, that's probably pretty good. Now we're gonna start putting the stuff on the pizza. First, Belle's gonna grate the cheese. Did you guys catch that little peace sign? My God, I love that kid. I'm just gonna go ahead and layer all of the toppings. I like to put the salami on the bottom, and then I like to go ahead and sprinkle on the bacon, the cheese, and I like the pepperoni on top because if you leave it on top, it's gonna crisp a little bit and kind of like bake and caramelize in the oven. If you bury it in the bottom, it stays kind of soggy and boring. Give it a try. So obviously Belle is not doing vegetables. I left a couple slices on the end for her and the rest have green peppers. I'm gonna bake this in the oven at a fairly high heat, like 475. I ended up throwing a piece of aluminum foil at one point, you'll see, because I didn't want it to brown too quickly, but that's how you're gonna get that nice pizzeria crust and the nice broiled toppings. My goodness, can we say hello? Delicious homemade pizza. If it's cooked on the bottom. So I usually just go, meow. Looks okay. Okay, full disclosure on that pizza. I just dug a little further way in the middle and it's really not cooked enough. So I dropped it to 400. I laid, I'll show you. I laid a piece of foil over the top. If it bubbles up a little bit, it's not the end of the world, and hopefully the bottom will cook a little more, and we'll check it again. There you have it. It turned out awesome, cheesy. The dough was just right, kind of like eating bread. It was really lovely. I loved this. Pizza for Thursday night. Thank you very much. You heard it right. That was my last homemade meal of the week because I was getting ready to make a bologna roast when I get a text from Jamie saying, do you want Vitos Take Out? Curbside pickup, don't worry, we're being good and we're isolating. But Mama was tired of cooking and this is what we had for supper. So good. Belle had a mini pizza. I had chicken souvlaki with their rice, which is so good with tomatoes and peppers in it. I had a delicious Greek salad. I love their feta. I don't know what it is. And Jamie had a donair with a Caesar salad. What a meal, you guys. There you have it, another What's for Dinner in the books. My plan is to keep producing these every week because whether in self-isolation or quarantine or free to go, I still have to cook for my family. You guys stay safe, healthy, and I will see you in my next video. Take care.